Hey, Bay Area Pet Fair. I am super excited to be here today and talk to you all about supplements. So I work for Primal Pet Foods, and I'm our director of retail training and education. And I spend most of my time getting to work with retail staff and my team in the stores that you guys shop at. So today we're going to get everyone really comfortable with hemp supplements, which are the correct ones to use for your pet, why you might want to incorporate them, so you can be confident in that. So let's just kind of roll right into our PowerPoint so we can get learning. All right, here, let me just get us set up. Awesome. So to start, this is something I'm really passionate about, I think, because it's such an incredible way we can really impact pets outside of nutrition. So I've spent a lot of time educating pet parents and retail staff about how food can make such an impact in a pet's life, but supplements, these hemp supplements, has such an incredible way of doing that as well. So it's really cool to be able to help pets in so many different ways. So to start, we really need to understand what these hemp supplements really do and kind of how they impact the body. So hemp supplements impact the endocannabinoid system. This is a system in our pet's body that plays a very important role in keeping our pets' bodies in balance. Now, our pets' bodies can become out of balance for a variety of different factors. Some of them are things we have control over. Like if we feed our pets a diet that's not really appropriate for them, that can set that endocannabinoid system really out of balance. Another one is outside stressors. So let's say our pets get really stressed because maybe we've gone back to work and we're not working from home anymore. That can be something that really affects the endocannabinoid system. Maybe it's something where we've adopted an additional dog. I'm sure there's a lot of you this weekend who are bringing home new dogs and cats. That's another thing that can really set that system out of balance. Travel, stuff like that. And then there's things that set the endocannabinoid system out of balance that we have no control over. Things like our pets aging. Now, when that system is out of balance, we see it affect a variety of aspects within their body. So we might see like an increase in pain. We might see them not really able to sleep as well. We may see, really that they're more anxious or less kind of settled and calm. We may even see an increase in allergies or immune-related issues. And all of those things could be from that system being out of balance, being depleted. And those are kind of the signs that their bodies are telling us. Now, the thing that's so cool about hemp and these supplements is hemp has cannabinoids that our pets' bodies can use to become back in balance. So by supplementing with hemp, it puts that body back in balance, and it maybe would help to prevent some of those problems. Like we talked about aging, right? That's something that all of our pets are going to go through. So by them regularly having these supplements, it can help so we don't see as many of the less exciting signs of that. The cannabinoids that we are going to be talking about most today are THC. That's the cannabinoid from the hemp plant that a lot of people think of as, humans may use that it would create that psychoactive, that high effect that we do not want in our pets. And we're going to talk about that more in a little bit. The other cannabinoid we're going to talk about today is CBD. That's probably the most common one that we're all really hearing about and familiar with. And then my favorite one right now, which is CBG. And that's a pretty cool one. All right. So as I'm drinking my glass of water, because I am dehydrated, I want to talk about one of the biggest misnomers or questions I get from retail staff or concerns, which I think is really important so we can kind of set everyone up for success. So I hear a lot like, this pet parent, I knew that hemp supplements would work for them. I sent them home with the hemp supplements. They tried it. They came back a few days later and said, hey, this isn't working. Like, I'm not seeing the desired effects. I don't want to try these anymore. It didn't work. Well, there's reason for that. So the research is pointing to the fact that our pets need to use these supplements daily from anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks before we might start to see those benefits. So everyone who went out and bought hemp supplements the day before the 4th of July, that probably wasn't our best planning. And now we're going to learn how to do that even better for next year. So let's draw a parallel to something that we're familiar with. So let's say I'm super dehydrated, like I am right now, because I haven't been doing a great job of drinking water out in this Sacramento heat. My body, might start to feel dry. My lips are even dry. I can tell my hands are dry. This morning I was like, oh man, I have a little bit of a headache here. I really need hydration. So as I drink my glass of water, right, and I'm going, okay, I'm getting some hydration. That's going to make my headache go away. That's going to make me feel a little bit better. But it's not going to in one day make my lips hydrated and my skin nice and soft again. It is going to take me regularly hydrating for many, many, many days, maybe even weeks before I start to see those improvements to some of those kind of long-term problems. It's the same thing with hemp supplements. So this is something that we want to shift the way we're thinking about it and really start thinking, we need to use these daily to be able to prevent our parallel, right? Major dehydration, or prevent this system from becoming out of balance. I think that's a little bit of a shift for some of us with hemp supplements. We take our multivitamin daily and we give that maybe to our pets and we're adding some sort of supplement to their food, but we forget about that with hemp supplements. Okay, so we have to make sure as pet parents that we understand this concept here. I'm in stores all the time where someone's like, wait, it's a hemp supplement? Well, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. And I think that's just because we are not clear on the difference between marijuana and hemp. So cannabis is the class of plant that both marijuana and hemp are from. We can draw a parallel, if you're into fresh foods, to apples. Apple trees have a variety of different types of apples that come from them. Since we are probably dog and cat fans around here, another easy one to draw a parallel to is dog breeds. Dog. Lots of different breeds of dog. They're all very different. They have different categories, characteristics, but again, still all dog, or cat, same thing. So marijuana is any cannabis plant that has more than 0.3% of the cannabinoid THC. Again, THC is that cannabinoid that creates that psychoactive, that high effect. Hemp is any cannabis plant that is less than 0.3% THC. That's just how it's classified by the federal government. Marijuana is not federally legal. You're not going to find that in any of your supplements that you would find at your stores. And hemp is federally legal. Hemp is incredibly safe. It's been used for a long time to not only, help our pets through supplements, but hemp is used to make paper and clothing and all sorts of things. Now, the cannabinoids we are going to be talking about in relation to hemp, again, are CBD and CBG. All right. Now, I want to make sure that I point this out here so everyone is clear. When you walk into your store, you're going to see many different brands of hemp supplements. So a lot of the information we're getting into now is tailored toward Primal supplements, but I'll kind of guide you through how you can make a decision on which supplements might be the best for your pet. So for example, in this Venn diagram, there's a couple of aspects of these things that are specific to Primal. For example, fast-acting, rapid absorption for our CBD. That's due to the processing that we're using. We're pre-digesting, almost breaking down the CBD oil, so it makes it fast-acting for the pet. So you'll need to work with your Pet Food Express retail associates so they can kind of guide you in some of those differences. But let's kind of set the stage so we can understand the difference between CBD, that cannabinoid, and CBG. So CBD is the one that we're very familiar with. Usually I would ask retail associates like, hey, what are the common things, that pet parents are coming in saying, hey, I need CBD for, and they'll say, oh, fireworks, travel, we want it to calm the pet. The pet is maybe really achy. And those are all very accurate descriptions of what CBD can help to improve. It can help to reduce, inflammation, pets that are dealing with pain. It does have that calming effect. Now, CBG is really cool. So it does some of the same things as CBD. It's, of course, still going to help manage stress, help with inflammation, but it is completely non-drowsy. You're not going to get a tired sleeping pet from that. So definitely that's not going to be the one you choose if you want a pet that's calmer. That is really helpful, though. Let's think about senior pets. When we don't want them to be resting more, we want them up and moving their bodies, but maybe they're still experiencing some of those achy joints. We want that reduction of inflammation. CBG is also incredible to support a healthy appetite. I bet if I did a poll, which I like to do, I would typically find out how many pet parents have a pet that is a picky eater. And usually we get about 75%. And everyone's like, oh gosh, they get bored of their food or they're not into it. I heard on the previous presentation, we all agree that feline, being imprint eaters, they really don't like it when we change up their diet. Well, CBG can help to support that by making sure they have a good appetite. It's also really incredible at supporting any sort of IBD related issues. So if you're thinking, well, that's me. Yeah, my pet's suffering from IBD. This is a chronic thing that's coming up. CBG would be one of those things that I would consider incorporating. And then urinary tract health. CBG, I like to think of as the perfect thing that every cat should have, since those are so many of the common issues. And then just the fact that it's non-drowsy, we want our cats up and exercising to make sure that they're maintaining a proper weight. But CBG is incredible, and we'll talk about it a little bit more. I use it daily for my pets. All right, so let me click through here. There we go. So an easy way to sort of think about this is identifying what is going to be the cannabinoid that is the best daily use for your pet. But that doesn't mean you can't use products that have other cannabinoids for specific situations. So let's say you're the CBG daily. You don't want the drowsy, but you have a senior pet. Maybe you have an active working dog where you need them to not be drowsy, maybe pets with IBD or any sort of urinary issue, and you're using that daily to make sure that cannabinoid system stays nice and strong, make sure that they're not suffering from any degradation. But oh man, this is my situation with my 4-year-old Klekai. Let's say family's about to come over for the holidays. I want him to be a little bit more drowsy then. I would be okay if he took a nap at that point. So what I do then is I layer on, starting the day before, CBD. And then his system's nice, and we can think of it as hydrated, nice and balanced. Then I give him the CBD. It works great. That's what we do before the 4th of July, before travel, before family comes over, if I need a chill day. And so you can layer these products. Same thing, maybe CBD is the one that you want to be using daily for anxiety issues. And then you're noticing that maybe your pet is kind of experiencing some of those other challenges that CBG can help to support. You can totally incorporate them. They're very safe to incorporate together. So now the products that I am showing on here, of course, are the Primal products, but I just want to say it again that there's a myriad of different things that you can find in your stores, and the PFE retail associates are going to be great at making sure the product that they're talking to you about is the perfect one for your pet. So most of the time you are going to find products kind of in 2 formats for administering them. So you're either going to see an oil, which is what I've pictured here. They look like this little dropper. Primals are kind of unique in the way that we like things to be easy. So we've made it really simple. If you have a large breed dog, it tells you like the weights on the sides, which would be considered for a large breed, on the size of like the package. You'll see them in a box, and then it's color coded. So you don't have to do any other complicated math. You just go, I know my pet is this weight, and this is the color that I'm gonna, use green because I have a large breed dog or whatnot. We also add Chaga mushroom to ours, which is really cool because it helps for immune support. So pets that are really needing those immune boosting properties. And again, for Primal, ours is fast acting, but that is just because of the method that we're using to kind of pre-digest those oils. There's also, and we'll talk about the chews in just a minute. So let me go over to the next oil. So our next oil is our CBG oil. We've talked about kind of the benefits of CBG. Primals is grown with like the certified USDA organic label, which is really cool. We do also offer a CBG that's specific to cats, more just the bottle's a good size for cats than anything else. And it's nice. I know I'm a cat owner. I love it when there's something that's specific for my feline as well. So that's pretty cool. And both of these oils, whether it's the CBD or the CBG, can be administered either in the pet's mouth or in their food. So it is really up to you as the pet parent to decide what works best for you. it doesn't really have an impact. Let's say my pets actually prefer to have this just dropped into their mouth because I know they're getting it all. It's easy. They get excited before their mealtime. If you have a pet that's super picky, maybe you want to put it in their food. Felines are probably not our favorite friends for chasing down to put a dropper in their mouth. My feline definitely doesn't get it in her mouth, but you could. So really easy to administer. You don't have to really overthink it. And with any of the oils, if you're finding after that 2 to 4 weeks, you're not seeing the results you want and you're trying to fix something specific, you can increase the dosing. All of this is just ranges, kind of from here to there, and you can increase it. They're incredibly safe products. You're not going to like overdose your pet on hemp supplements. So let's move forward to the chews. Now, let's say you're going, I don't know, the oil seems like I'm not as interested. I want an easy chew. For CBD for Primal, we do have a chew. We do not have a CBG chew at this point. You can talk to your PFE employees, see if maybe there's something else that would work for you. I actually see a lot of people, though, taking the CBG oil and just putting it on a treat, and then, well, it's a chew then. But this is cool because it's about 30 of these in a container. So as I mentioned, I use CBG daily, like the oil, in my pet's food or in their mouth. My dogs get it in their mouth. And then before firework time or travel, I use the chews. It's just easy for me. I can kind of give it to them. It's easy to do. Yeah, and they love them. They're like a really like kind of not hard, but not like super soft texture. They're a really, really incredible texture. Now the chews have an additional blend of medicinal mushrooms to help with the immune support as well. Our pets can always have a boost in immune support. And then we've added ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is really cool at balancing the cortisol levels, which help to reduce overall like anxiety and stress in our pets. So if we're looking for a CBD chew, that can be a really cool one as well with that ashwagandha. All right, and last but not least for the internal supplements is we have our Feline Shoe, and this is a CBG. So the Feline Shoe is a CBG chew for cats. When we first brought these in, we were like, oh man, what's the feedback going to be from the feline world? No matter how many times you test with felines, like we can't wait to have pet parents tell us if their cats love them or not. We have been floored. People have been reaching out like, my cat won't eat any like treat, but they'll eat these CBG chews. And so that's been really exciting to hear. We've also added some probiotics with this to help with just cat overall like GI health, which we know a lot of cats are kind of suffering from that. So let's take a little bit of a switch now, and we are going to talk about topicals. There's a lot of different topicals on the market. There's tons that your PFE associates can really help you with and kind of compare. Our topical, it has CBD in it. It's a really cool, I don't know if you guys can kind of see the consistency. It's not too greasy. I absolutely love it. It soaks in really well. I may or may not also use it on my hands occasionally because it's so, I don't know, it's just really soft. But it uses CBD and then a blend of other pretty incredible ingredients and essential oils and whatnot. This is just for canines for our oil. You might be able to find a feline oil out there. And that's just because essential oils is something that felines can be a little bit more sensitive to. All right, so let me jump through. We're going to do a little vocab learning lesson here, just because sometimes we get all this information. You're probably like, okay, I know that my pet needs hemp supplements. I don't want their system to break down. I want to keep it nice and strong. Or maybe you've figured out which supplement is perfect for a problem you're trying to solve. Then you're going to walk in the store. You're going to start comparing. You're going, what is this? So full spectrum is a terminology and broad spectrum that you'll see on a lot of packages, but I want to make sure pet parents are really comfortable with understanding it doesn't affect how your pet is utilizing this product. Full spectrum versus broad spectrum, neither of those things are going to make a product better or worse for your pet. It's just a method in which it's processed more or less. So when you take the hemp plant and you distill it down, you concentrate it, if it has less than 0.3% THC when it's concentrated, it's called full spectrum. If when you distill it down and concentrate it down, if it has slightly more than that, well, it has to go through an additional step to make sure it brings it back down to 0.3% THC. And that's broad spectrum. So it's really the only difference there. And then the last kind of vocab lesson we can call of the day is the NASC seal. That stands for the National Animal Supplement Council. So this is really the regulating body for supplements that validates the claims companies are making. There's kind of two different ways a supplement company can be involved in NASC. At first, I just need to explain, you don't have to be. There is no one telling supplement companies that they need to be members or be involved with NASC. That's really up to that individual company. So one, you can be a member, and to be a member, it really is just saying like, hey, we're trying to meet these standards. We are, following what you guys say, but there isn't a ton of validation in that. Now, the next step, which Primal is really proud that we've gone through, and many of the hemp companies and the supplements at Pet Food Express have these labels as well, is the NASC actually goes through and completely audits all of the supplement manufacturing. They audit all of the ingredients to basically back or validate that everything that company is saying about the supplements, all the ingredients they're using, everything like that is following these strict NASC standards. Part of that is making sure that there is a way for pet parents to see what these test results look like. So you'll find the little QR code on the back of all of our packaging. It's very similar for the majority of other brands. What that allows a pet parent to do is scan, and it'll take you to the actual test results for that batch, showing how much of the cannabinoid CBG, are there any residual solvents, like all of those types of detailed questions, which I think is really cool and really just speaks to transparency. So, all right, I think we are just about at time where we get to start getting into some of these questions. So I am excited for that. The way this works is you guys have sent all of these great questions into the chat, and I am going to read through them and answer them to the best of my ability. So that's kind of our game plan from here. So the first one, I have a senior dog and I don't want them to be drowsy. What is the best hemp supplement to use? So hopefully if you've been tuning in, you guys could probably chime in and answer that. That in my mind, that would definitely be the CBG, because you're getting those incredible benefits to hip and joint support. You're getting all of those, just the benefit to the endocannabinoid system, but you're not going to have that drowsy effect. The next one is, can I use both CBD and CBG at the same time? Yep, we answered that. That's what I do. CBG daily for my pets, and then CBD when I need someone to chill a little bit. Let's see. My pet won't like the dropper. Can I put it in their food or treat? Yeah, 100%. This is an interesting one because I hear a lot people say, oh, well, I heard it doesn't get into their body as quickly if I put it in their food, and it has to be directly in their mouth. Well, two pieces to that. One, we're using these for daily supplementation. So let's say you feed at 9 a.m. Well, and let's say it lasts 24 hours. Who cares if it hits their body 4 or 5 hours later, because they're constantly taking those supplements. And then to our CBD is just really rapid absorption. Let's see. My pet seems fine. Should I still incorporate hemp supplements? I think so. But my personality type is I'm a worrywart. So I want to prevent future problems. I'm like, okay, I know aging and I know all these things can affect the endocannabinoid system. So why wouldn't I give my pets why wouldn't I give my pets hemp supplements to make sure those things don't happen later? But again, I'm a worrywart. And also I have seen firsthand these incredible benefits. So I would definitely still use them. Let's see. If using CBG drops directly in the mouth, can the anti-inflammatory properties benefit a dental routine? I don't know of any research that points to in-mouth benefiting dental routine. CBG is great at supporting a reduction of inflammation. And remember, our pets' bodies are not segmented. Oh, just mouth. Oh, just this. Their entire body interworks together. So using CBG can impact a reduction of inflammation, but I would work with your veterinarian on what's going on with that pet's mouth and if they are needing a dental and how you can really support that pet's mouth. So how much stronger is the oil versus the chew? Are the chews going to be good for everyday therapeutic levels, or are the oils better for that? That's a really great question. You can you can mirror it, right? So if you feed more chews, then you're getting more of the cannabinoids. And if you're feeding more oils, you're getting more of the cannabinoids. So really, you control the levels that your pet are getting. Neither one is going to be better or worse. It's really, truthfully, just the factor of how do you like to administer their hemp supplements. So we've heard really incredible results from both. Does the oil have a taste? I don't find it to have a taste. The one, our CBG is in coconut oil, so like a little bit, but not anything that I've found to be like strong or pungent. So most pets seem to go crazy for it. Can puppies or kittens have CBD or CBG? Yes, it is safe for all different ages. That's totally fine. Let's see. Does Primal have plans to make more cat CBG chews? The ones currently available are a bit too hard for my kitty. Well, I'm really sorry to hear that. No, we don't have any plans of making any additional CBG chews. I would check out the oils then. And if you know that your cat has a favorite treat that they love from PFE, then I would grab the oil and just drop it right onto whatever treat they're eating or right into their food and see if that works. Let's see. If a dog shows signs of increased aggression with their first dose of CBD, should I stop use? That is the first time. So the question was, if my dog shows signs of increased aggression with their first dose of CBD, should I stop use? I've never heard that before. So that's a really situational thing, since I've never heard of that before. And that's going to really be up to that pet parent. Aggression isn't a sign that is linked to CBD in any way in any research that I've been aware of. So that's really going to be up to that pet parent. I like to try things for a couple weeks personally before I make any decisions. I do that with everything. That's slow, try it a few times, just because there's so many factors that can, influence how a pet is feeling that day or whatnot. So what are some signs that you should stop the use of CBD or CBG? Oh gosh, I can't think of any reasons why you would stop the use of them. The only thing that I've had people bring up a few times, but now that we have CBG, it's kind of been a solution, is their pets were too drowsy with the CBD. They had an older pet that they needed moving more, or an overweight pet that they didn't want that drowsy effect. But now it doesn't really, that's kind of an easy one now, because we have CBG, which doesn't cause any sort of drowsy effect. So I can't think of any. Yeah, these are great questions, you guys. So I think that's all of the questions that I see so far. Does anyone else have any others that they can think of? I hope you're feeling excited to try these for your pets, because I know they have been pretty incredible. So I have 3 dogs and a cat, and the dog that got me into this industry is almost 15 years old now, and he has some pretty bad digestive issues just due to his body chemistry and how he's made up. And he has been the pickiest eater in the entire planet. I'm not exaggerating. 3 different types of meals, so finicky, won't eat table scraps even if they were offered to him. And I've been feeding the same thing for many years now, right? I use Primal, I use the exact formulas that I use. And I started incorporating CBG, and I was really skeptical. Primal's going out with supplements? What? I don't know. I'm skeptical about these. I've heard they don't work. But I was like, I'll give it a try. Worst case scenario, they don't work. And I can be whatever. So I started feeding these. And after about 3 weeks, it was a completely different feeding routine. Kiku was excited for food. He was running around and jumping and barking at food time, which for a 15-year-old dog is pretty exciting, especially a 15-year-old dog who isn't excited about food. He's starting to take table scraps. He'll eat things like random vegetables. When I say table scraps, I mean very healthful things, like a piece of turkey or things like that would be appropriate for them. And it has just been mind-blowing. He hasn't had any of his GI upset scenarios, his ultrasounds that we've done on the part of his body that's kind of shaped weird, is the inflammation's down. And the only thing I've changed is adding CBG. So I guess that's also why I like talking about this, because I also personally have seen such an incredible improvement. Oh, look, we have one more question here. Does Primal have plans to expand flavors of the dog chews? Not that I know of at this point in time, but I always like to say I don't have a crystal ball. I can't see into the future. We really encourage both retail staff and pet parents to reach out to our customer service if there's something you would like to see differently, more of, things you have questions about, because we aggregate all of that and look at that feedback when we are making decisions about future products. So I really want to encourage you guys to reach out and kind of let us know what you want. Why would someone get Primal CBD over Cbd Oil from a dispensary? I'm not very familiar with how, what goes on in a dispensary with oil, so I can't really speak to the comparison. I know one of the things that I feel really good about getting supplements from Pet Food Express or from any sort of brand that has that NASC seal is that I know that those claims have been validated and safe for pets. Pets are not humans. Dogs and cats are not humans. I know we think they are, but they are not humans. And so I just like to feel really comfortable knowing that any of the ingredients, the way it's processed, all of that is made in a way, the dosing, everything like that, that is safe for my pets. So should CBD be given on an empty stomach or doesn't matter? Doesn't matter. If you're, especially for our CBD, we're using that fast acting kind of, well, not really that it's kind of pre-broken down, but really for any of it, it really doesn't matter. If you're giving a chew and the pet has a full stomach, it might take a little bit longer to see the benefit. Like if you're using that, like, oh, I know there's fireworks tonight and I'm going to give that chew to my pet in the morning, you might be a little bit slower to see the benefit, but it really doesn't matter. We don't have to overcomplicate this in any way, shape, or form. Great question. Any others that we see coming through here? I'll give it a moment. Some of these talks have been really fun today. I've been able to tune into some of them, which have been really great. Hopefully everyone's enjoying being able to listen to so many of these education sessions, hopefully with your pets in your arms. I locked mine out because they like to get involved in the talk, and I don't know if we really want an Alaskan Kleekai speaking Alaskan Kleekai while we're chatting. So, all right, I'll wait a few more moments to see if there's any others. If not, then we will call it. And I really appreciate everyone tuning in today. This was really fun to be able to talk with everyone. Thank you so much, everyone. It looks like that was the last question. And enjoy the rest of the pet fair. And if you're bringing home a new companion, I hope you enjoy them. So thank you.